Hey you, thanks for joining me. So today I thought I would do a little check-in for my discomfort challenge that I just kind of made up for myself, where I just track something uncomfortable, at least one thing per day that either happened to me or that I sought out. And it's just really to reflect on and to promote myself growing, basically. I had some things that I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure how to actually do those things. So I thought this would help by breaking things down to the most manageable chunks. So I started this challenge back in November of 2023. November 26th was the first day that I tracked for this challenge. And it's currently, at the day of recording this, September the 4th, 2024. So it's been over about, so it's been over 9 months. November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yeah. So it's been 9 months, and I've actually managed to stick with it that long, which is great. Sometimes I struggle with staying consistent with things. When I was designing this, I was considering myself, and I didn't want to have goals that were too high or unattainable. I wanted something that I could actually stay consistent with, and I am pleased to say that I have been able to put something down every day for the last 9 months. So I've been loving this challenge so far. Honestly, I don't really have any negatives to report. It's basically just I've noticed positives that I did not anticipate. And I do feel like I have still a long way to go with this experiment. I don't feel like I'm burnt out from it or that I've gotten to the limit of what I can get out of it. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully doing some more update videos as I've continued on with this experiment. So a lot of the changes that I've noticed, I have noticed internally, or my partner has noticed. I don't know if like other people that I know in my life would really say that I've changed that much, but internally I do feel quite different. So let's just dive into some of the benefits that I have noticed. So number one, in terms of things that I've noticed, is that I have been more willing to do things that challenge me or that are scary or outside of my comfort zone. So I'll feel a little bit of internal resistance, but I still typically am doing the thing because it counts as an uncomfortable for the day, which kind of gives me a little dopamine for doing it. I know that I can grow from doing that. And over time, because I've gotten more accustomed to doing little challenges for myself, I find myself accepting challenges that I maybe otherwise would have kind of steered away from just out of the fear of discomfort. So number two is that I have been able to handle overstimulating environments so much better than I was before. So I do struggle with feeling overstimulated and drained, especially in like noisy, crowded environments. There were points where like just a trip to like Costco or IKEA would have me out for the rest of the day. So I've found that since trying to purposely expose myself to more of those kind of environments and celebrating when I do those things, I'm actually way more tolerant of them than I was. Like I can recall one thing that really struck for me was there was this market that's close by where I live, and it gets fairly crowded. And I can recall going there a few times, and like every time I'm like, this is too much for me. I cannot handle it. I feel so drained afterwards. And I've gone there several times since recently, and I do not feel overwhelmed going there anymore. So it's just really nice to have that. I think a part of me was also struggling with like being close to people, especially after COVID. So just kind of getting myself rewired for being used to being closer to people, I think this challenge kind of helped with. So number three is that I have been able to improve my impulse control. So I used to be a very impulsive pimple popper. So if I saw pimples on my face or on me, I would want to pop those immediately. And then also if my partner had any pimples, I would be basically begging to pop them. So not exactly the best thing for skin health, and also can be kind of annoying when someone's always asking you to pop their pimples. So I had tried to kind of work on that with this challenge, where like some days that would be my uncomfortable goal thing that I was really marking down, was like a day of me seeing a pimple, acknowledging a pimple, knowing it's there, and not popping it for the whole day. And it actually didn't take that long from like doing that and kind of just sitting with it to getting to a point where I really don't have the same like, oh, I need to do that impulse. So that's been really cool. And number 4 is that I have started to feel more confident in myself and my abilities. So just by doing things that are a little challenging and seeing that, hey, I can do these things, I've gained a little bit more confidence in myself, which is really rad. So number 5, in terms of benefits, is I think it's just being a way for me to check in with myself daily and to acknowledge the things that I like found difficult, or that I feel like I did push myself a little bit with, and to just kind of have some time to be grateful for it, to sit in that, acknowledge that I got through those things. So it's kind of, to me, like a gratitude practice. So where like gratitude practices are shown to be very beneficial for mental health, I kind of see this as a little bit of that. Like it's a gratitude practice for discomfort. So it gives me this chance to check in with myself, acknowledge things that I find difficult, things that I find less difficult since doing this challenge. And so it's a really good way to remind myself to check in with myself, recount things from the day. Gives me a little bit of structure, but not too much. So it works well for my brain. My next point, I think this is number 6, is it has helped me in terms of social interactions. So I think of myself as quite awkward, and I feel like I struggle a lot socially. And this challenge, I've kind of gotten myself to do a little bit more things that I wouldn't normally do. Sometimes it's as small as like me taking the lead on ordering things, or me actually asking a customer service rep for what I'm looking for in a store. I generally, even though I've worked in customer service, I'm typically like a person who, when I go to a store, I don't like to ask for things, even if like a worker comes right up to you and asks if there is anything they can help you with. But I have started to just ask for the things. And just in other social interactions, I kind of am getting myself to do things that I wouldn't normally feel comfortable with. Yeah, I've basically started to reframe social interactions. And when I think about how social interactions work, they're always going to be a gamble, right? Like even with people that you are super comfortable with, there's always the chance of things, there being a miscommunication or whatever. There's always that little bit of a gamble. And if that little bit of a gamble, if you end up feeling like, oh, this was uncomfortable, then I just kind of make a note of it, and I kind of try and reframe it as a positive that, hey, it's fine. It's really not the end of the world when we have these uncomfortable situations. And as someone who can often overthink these things, it's been really helpful for me to just say, well, that happened. It felt very awkward. I did not like it, but at the end of the day, it's fine. No one was hurt. It's all good. So that has really helped socially for me, I think. So the next point is that it's helped me to get better at things that I typically would try like once and then not do again. So for example, like brushing my tongue, which I just like always thought it made me gag. And I had tried it a few times and I was like, no, I don't like that. But I started to do it enough, by like reframing it as just like, it's an uncomfortable thing. That's my uncomfortable thing of the day. And over time, like I didn't mind brushing my tongue as much anymore. And even things like nasal strips, which used to really bother me sensory wise, by reframing it as an uncomfortable, I have gotten better with doing that. So it's helped me to build healthier habits and initiate things that I normally had too much resistance to do. And number 10 is that my cooking has improved. So just by challenging myself to cook different things, cook different ways, I think I have gotten to be a better cook. It's also helped me to accept rest a little bit more. There's that inner discomfort of not being able to do as much as you want to do. Accepting that and like resting has been also something that I've been getting better at with this challenge. So I was going through this part and I didn't love the way that I explained it. So I'm going to try and re-explain it here. So on days where I was needing rest, like if I was sick or if I had really, really bad allergies, which happened quite frequently in the summer, honestly, where I would be knocked out for a day and could not really do much. So my output would be pretty crud anyways. The things that I was capable of were pretty minimal, but I don't know, I don't think I'm alone in this, in that actually just accepting rest and just resting, allowing your body to just recover, is challenging and it is uncomfortable. So on those days, I don't challenge myself to do anything beyond rest. So I frame that as a discomfort or as an uncomfortable to track for the day. And by doing that, I'm both acknowledging that inner discomfort that I have with rest, trying to reframe things, and slowly getting to accept that really what I was going to do anyways probably wouldn't be that great on those days, and that rest is really important. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense than my initial explanation of it. So it's been something that I've integrated into my life, and I'm really grateful for it. At this point, I don't think a ton about it, honestly. I just kind of have it in the back of my brain while I'm going through my day, but it's not something that's like front and center all the time. So far, I'm just really grateful that I have been consistent with this challenge and that I kind of followed my gut on it. Like it was something that I just instinctively felt like I had to do, and I have been doing. So I'm really proud of myself for that. If you have any questions about this challenge, if you have any kind of similar things that you've ever done, or if you have any other videos that you want me to make about this topic, then let me know. Thanks so much for joining. Take care. Bye.